عجبكم الفيديو لا تبخل علينا بالضغط على زر لايك والاشتراك في القناة لتشجيعنا على المواصلة.
In August 2013, Twitter user @CoreyCarlson posted this photo collage on Instagram. It shows him posing in his living room with a spectral figure floating in the background. He compared the photo of an image he claims is of a woman named Curtis Johnston that used to live in the house but went missing in 2001. The two photos do have a striking resemblance of one another. If the story is true, it's easy to see how Corey came to this conclusion. It is hard to verify this story, however, as there's very little information on both Corey Carlson and Curtis Johnston. The only info on Johnston I've managed to find is on a very old website called Wellstring Ministries. It lists her as deceased.
عجبكم الفيديو لا تبخل علينا بالضغط على زر لايك والاشتراك في القناة لتشجيعنا على المواصلة.
Ghastly image was captured by Holly Hampshire on a trip to Hampton Court Palace, Surrey, UK. 12-year-old Hampshire took a series of photos of her cousin, Brooke McGee, as they walked about the palace. She didn't think anything of the snaps until they reviewed them the following day. What she captured is truly chilling. Some believe the tall, long-haired figure in this photo is Dame Sybil Penn, a servant at Hampton Court who died of smallpox in 1562. Unsettling sightings of the dame began in 1829 after her tomb was moved due to renovations. Shortly after, mysterious noises filled the halls of the palace. Late at night, the sound of a spinning wheel could be heard with no explanation. This led to a palace-wide search. Eventually, a secret room was discovered that housed an old spinning wheel. This photo was posted to Imager by username The Stringer. It was taken back in 1970 at a birthday party. No one that attended could recall anything unusual happening or any uninvited guests. However, when they reviewed the photos taken that day, they noticed the face of a girl at the bottom of one of the images. It was a complete mystery. No one could identify the young girl at the bottom of the photograph. Then, some months later, the Stringer's grandmother saw the photo and was nearly brought to tears. She was certain that the young girl was Marie, her daughter that had died decades earlier. On the 14th of July 2016, truck driver Sal Vasquez took this photo as he was passing an accident on the Bert T. Combs Mountain Parkway in eastern Kentucky. Just near the onlooking state troopers and paramedics, there appears to be a white figure rising above the crowd. The unidentified man involved in the motorbike accident was taken to a nearby hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. Vasquez posted the photo to his Facebook page later that day, leading many to speculate that the floating white shadow is the man's soul escaping his body. This unsettling photo was taken in 1943 in Kapusfured, Hungary. While out for a walk, this husband decided to take some photos of his wife in the park. When he reviewed the images, he was stunned at what he saw. In the background, there is a girl in a dress with no arms and no discernible face. Creepier still, there is a disembodied leg jutting out from behind the man's wife. The more you stare at this image, the creepier it gets. The little girl clearly has no arms or face, yet is looking straight at the camera. And where is that leg coming from? It's clear there should be a body just behind the man's wife, but you can't see anyone there. In October 2016 at the Newsham Park Hospital in Liverpool, England, it appears participants of this ghost walking tour got exactly what they came for when this creepy group photo was taken. The group leader, who was responsible for taking participants around the famously haunted Grade 2 listed heritage building, was stunned when they saw the photograph. It clearly shows a pale figure that doesn't match the skin tone of the rest of the group. The entity is small and frail looking with sunken eyes and a grey complexion. There appears to be another grey face staring at the camera just below the first ghostly figure. When shown the photo, no one from the walking tour could recall anyone or anything that matched the details of the figure. Could this ghost walking tour really have captured a spirit on film? In August 2015, a man by the name of Brock David submitted this picture to a ghost forum on Facebook. He said he'd been hiking through rural bushland in Toowoomba, Australia, when he felt like he was being watched. He took some photos by a small marsh known for suicides. He claimed he felt an ominous feeling and a sense of dread fall over him. After walking a few more meters, he turned back. Later that night, when reviewing his photos, he said he noticed something strange. In one of the pictures, there stood a bearded figure dressed in red standing by a pile of branches. He was certain he'd been alone in the rural forest and would have noticed a nearby person, especially while taking photos. In the days following the event, David claims he had the same sense of dread while alone in his house. He felt like something was watching him. This creepy photo was submitted to a ghost investigation forum in 2015. The user, who goes by the name Peter, said he was taking some Christmas family photos when he noticed something disturbing. In one of the photos, his daughter's arm is missing, and in its place is a shadow with long, slender fingers. The shadow as a whole doesn't match what the girl is wearing. It looks as though the dark figure is wearing a long dress. Could this just be a glitch in the photo, or is something more sinister at play here? This creepy ghost photo began circulating the internet in 2014. When this lady took a selfie with her daughter, she swears they were the only two people in the room. But when she reviewed the photo, she was stunned at the eerie figure in the background. It appears to be a young girl floating, looking lifelessly at the camera. If you look closely, the right side of her face looks bloated. The photo scared the lady so much she hired a paranormal investigator to look into the history of the house. She discovered that the house had once been a fully functioning crematorium and would have housed hundreds of dead bodies. Photographer Gordon Watson took this photo while visiting Dark Hedges in Stranocum, County Antrim in Northern Ireland, a location made famous by the HBO series Game of Thrones. A ghostly figure known as the Grey Lady is said to haunt this very stretch of road. She has been reported for many years by witnesses that say she floats the length of the road before vanishing at the last beech tree. Legend has it it's the ghost of an old maid that died tragically hundreds of years ago. Many tourists flock to this road in the hope of seeing the Grey Lady. However, it's thought that this photograph is the first hard evidence of her existence. Photographer Kevin McCauley examined the photo and told the local newspaper, the Ballymoney Times, that it hadn't been doctored or digitally enhanced.